they'll feel like years.
I really did want you to have a memorable stay for your final night.
Erik, Amelia, Taylor, Jeff in Las Vegas, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow.
Thank you for joining me this morning.
Sure.
First of all, I have to say, what, you like my background?
Yes.
That's what we were all that excited about.
Hey, we got to do this junket style, right? This is how you do it. First of all, what a great thriller. Man, talk about creepy, great visuals. Just want to say, Erik, congratulations, man. What a didn't sleep.
Oh,
Put it that way. Shouldn't have watched this at 11:30 last night, but but that's the only time to watch a movie like this. So congratulations. So Amelia, let's start with you. Twins have a special connection, and you play twins in this movie. Did you and Taylor experience that on the film?
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, we've played twins before. So this was not our first time doing this. So we were kind of able to build on our previous experience playing twins. And I think we just kind of naturally, having worked together before, have developed a kind of well, we can finish each other's sentences sometimes, and just have enough of that ability to occupy the same wavelength that comes from working together quite a bit, but then also enhances our relationship as the characters.
And Erik, the twins are investigating the disappearance of their father the night they were born. What do they hope to discover? Closure for the family?
I think that's what drives them there. I think we talked a little bit about this, is that there was this probably lingering question about the circumstances of their birth. But I think part of the thing that happens in this movie is you sort of see two people who are very close, but somewhat disconnected too. And this is kind of a thing for them to rally around, have a shared goal, have a shared experience, or something to bring them together. So, I mean, while on the surface, it certainly is about how do we solve the mystery of our past? I guess when you do paranormal things in general, there's always that piece of you that's yeah, this is just for fun. So there's got to be more of a reason for these two people at this time to be going to. And I think it's just to maybe reconnect in some way. And they butt heads a little bit throughout the film, but we didn't want to overplay it. I mean, that you guys can speak more to that, but we introduce a little bit of internal conflicts that I think weaves its way throughout.
And Taylor, the Eagle Inn, how does it change people?
Oh, well, personally, I froze my ass off. That's how it changed me personally. But the conceit of the film, right, is that it acts as sort of like a spirit. Are we allowed to talk spoilers? How much am I allowed to reveal?
Taylor, make it a thing where you're talk spoilers while your hands are over your ears, and then when your hands come off your ears.
Oh my, yeah. Spoiler alert. If anybody is watching, you don't want the movie spoiled, spoilers now. Yeah. So the hotel works as this sort of spiritual, Spencer calls it a spiritual death trap. This beacon almost for wayward souls, and the hotel draws them in, traps them inside through supernatural means, and then forces them to inhabit the sort of darkest, most traumatic parts of their mind, of their internal emotional life. And so it pushes them closer and closer towards desperation, towards fear. It draws out the time that they spend at the hotel until it feels like forever, until they're forced to essentially end it themselves by killing themselves, which is I think it's not established how a lot of the spirits in the hotel ended up there, but at least when we, meet our father there, that's part of what we discover, is that the trauma of being in this horrific location was too much for him to handle.
Yeah, definitely those emotions are conveyed through this movie. I'm telling you, it was really strong. And Amelia, tell me about creating the look for the twins. You know, almost like being opposites, but they definitely have this unique presence about them.
Well, this is another thing that we sort of played with from our previous experience playing twins. The time before in the Cobblestone Corridor, Erik's former project, we had like an inverted color palette. I was blonde, Taylor had the dark hair, which is his natural color and my natural color. And so this is, I think, really Taylor's idea here was to switch that, and we thought that would just kind of add to the look of Spencer and Sarah as being this sort of haunted by their own past, and then also be kind of a fun little Easter egg for people who'd viewed Cobblestone, who would see it and notice that, like, oh, they switched.
No, it worked. It really did.
Because we were going.
It was very noticeable.
We're going for like a bit of like a heroin chic.
Yes.
Yeah. I ran it by Brianna, our makeup artist, when we were meeting and talking about it. I had pulled up these looks with like people with these like red sunken eyes, and we had like the little guy liner, and we were kind of going off of that, like we're both strung out for like different reasons. Her, like Sarah's she has these like sleeping problems, she has night terrors, somnambulism, and then Spencer's was probably just he was a little
he's on the other side of his party phase.
Yeah, he's on a perpetual come down. And so yeah, the bleach hair was something I actually had been looking for like an excuse to do because it was quarantine, and like why not? And it happened to like work really well like with the environment we were in, and that like first day we were filming with all the fog and all the mist that just happened to be there, it like really played well with like the color palettes we had gone with. So it was just a happy accident in that sense. You can't pay for that kind of production value, right?
Oh, definitely. And Erik, you deliver really strong dialogue between the twins, and you have this cadence to it. And I was wondering, is that something you rehearsed with the cast with, or is it something that they pick on with their characters? Because it's almost like your trademark with this dialogue that you have.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly part of, I think the way I like to write, and Carson and I wrote this very quickly. I think we wrote it over the course of like a month, sending Taylor and Amelia pages as we went. So I mean, I think having pingy, interesting dialogue is certainly part of our thing, but we also really like to write with the sensibilities in mind for who we're writing for. So we like to play to the strengths of the actors that we're working with, and that's why we like to work with people that we trust and people that we love repeatedly, while also knowing their strengths, knowing ways to kind of challenge and surprise and subvert too. So it's using all of those things and just trying to build a vocabulary and a character that's both going to showcase and be new for people. And it's certainly something where, and Taylor and Amelia can speak more to this, where there's room for play within that, changes or improvisations. I mean, there are certain places of this script where it's literally brackets that says insert Taylor specific witticism here. So Taylor had just, little things that he would improv.
Did it say, Taylor screams here? Because there was so much screaming in this movie. And I just think,
there were moments, or things like when Amelia is walking around looking at the TVs and things, there was just this idea where like, Amelia, can you just start narrating what's happening, because she hadn't seen some of this stuff before. And I think it kind of drives those scenes too. So Amelia is just kind of improving narration as she goes from what's happening on the TVs. So it's a mix of kind of knowing who you're working with and just kind of coming from an acting background, knowing what words feel good in your mouth, and just kind of letting it do its own thing from there.
Well, excellent thriller. Thank you all for joining me today. I enjoyed it immensely. And Erik, man, you just keep cranking these movies out like you're on an assembly line, man. So when do you rest?
Not enough, but it's okay.
No, of course not. Your creative output is astonishing. So thank you all for joining me today, and good luck with the film. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Nice to meet you.